Welcome to Association Newsmakers. Today, our guest is Charles Quatt, president and founder of Quatt Associates, a firm which specializes in compensation, organizational development, and strategic planning. The co-author of a book on executive pay in nonprofits, he is retained as an authority both by boards and executives in determining compensation. We'll be talking with him on current salary trends. Welcome, Charlie, to Association Newsmakers.
It's great to be here.
CEO Update reports that CEO pay is increasing. Where do you see it going in the next 3 to 5 years, and why is it increasing?
Interestingly enough, when we've done our analyses over the past 4 or 5 years, CEO pay has continued to climb, sometimes almost twice as much as it has for other staff in associations. Why is this taking place? I think it's because the real issue is about performance. I think what people often don't realize is that one CEO can have an impact over an entire industry. And relatively speaking, that impact could be worth billions of dollars. And so the compensation levels are de minimis when you think of the impact that that particular person can have.
You're probably the best source of research on association benefits. Is there something out there that's new? Are there things that seem to be disappearing from the benefit package?
I would say the general trend is to put more in cash and less in benefits. I would say there are two trends that are really taking place. Number one, incentive compensation levels are continuing to rise. In fact, they're double now what they were when we first started looking at this, and they're going even faster. And people are not excited about perks. Perks don't look good in the public. So what we're seeing and with many of our clients is that they're taking some of those perks, say car allowances or other kinds of things, and just putting them into the cash compensation and letting people make decisions for themselves. But I would say the trend is that base salaries, while going up, are still going up, but it's really incentive compensation that is dramatically changing.
And is there anything new in compensation and benefits over the last 3 to 5 years that you see?
Well, I just cited that incentive compensation is probably the number one new issue, and along with it are all the things that go along with measuring performance. So it's been an increase in performance metrics and an increase in being able to justify compensation levels. I would also say we're beginning to see more interest in long-term compensation. That is compensation that will be paid out into the future for performance that is strategic. It has two purposes. It focuses the executives on longer-term success, but it also keeps them with the organization. And we saw it deferred before, but now that's also being translated in deferred performance-based, not just deferred.
And is there anything that executives should not talk about with their boards or when seeking out new positions?
Well, first of all, talking with their boards, I think executives should be very careful about advocating for their own compensation. Now, being advocates, they should understand how you can effectively accomplish your mission. But it's all about the mission. It's not about the compensation. With respect to looking for new jobs, I would say, and this happens all the time, number one, you really have to make sure you're performing extraordinarily well in the job that you're in, regardless of how much you don't like it. And also, it's about the mission, it's not about the money. I say that over and over again. So when executives are looking for a new job, the most important thing is that the membership needs to really feel that they care about the mission and they're coming to accomplish the mission, not just to make more money.
And if you were going to give 2 or 3 tips to people who are in the association business to make them exceptional CEOs, what would those tips be?
I would say, number one, that you have to really have a very strong relationship with your board of directors, and you really have to understand how to work with them, understand how to demonstrate to them the value that you and your team are adding, that you have to be able to praise your team, not just yourself. But most importantly, you have to really understand how you can have an impact on the membership and how you can be able to demonstrate that, sometimes even in financial terms. Dave Parker, as an example, was really good at being able to tell his board of directors how much value AGA brought to the industry every single year.
Well, thank you, Charlie, for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next edition of Association Newsmakers.